Hello everybody, welcome back, and I am the Sonic, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go over and discuss the ending of X, Y, and Z, and talk about the big remaining questions that we all have near the end of the series, and what's for the future of Pokemon in general, and I put together some of the biggest questions I have for what's gonna happen to Ash, and what's gonna happen with the anime in general from here on out. What is unanswered? And you guys could post in the comment section below also your guys' questions. I'll try to answer them. I'll go in the comments and see all your questions and stuff that you still have left over. Maybe see your opinions on these questions. Maybe I'm gonna just shout out my certain questions and I'm gonna try to briefly answer them. You guys in the comments could let me know what you guys think of it, and maybe we could have a good old discussion. But these are the kind of the remaining concerning questions regarding the end of the series. Where's it going? What questions have not been answered yet that I kind of want to know still? And these are the biggest questions. So I'm going to obviously state the obvious ones, and then we're going to go into a little bit smaller ones. And let's just have a great, good discussion, because this is kind of important to go over, you know, stuff that hasn't really been answered, stuff that needs to be answered, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so guys, the first big question that we're going to talk about is, will Ash ever win a Pokemon League? Now, this is the biggest thing, because X, Y, Z, everyone was dang sure Ash was gonna win the Kalos League. He had Ash Greninja, the most powerful Pokemon in history, the Bond phenomenon, dude. It was everywhere, dude. It was just trolled by the writers immensely. The title just concealed it. It was like Ash's greatest victory, or Ash's greatest battle, you know, Kalos victory, da-da-da-da. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, Ash is gonna win. He's in the finals, the farthest he's ever been. He's a pseudo-legendary Goodra. Pikachu is freaking taking down pseudo-legendaries left and right, and Pikachu's just amazing, and Ash is amazing, and the longest win streak he's ever had, and blah blah blah. He's so mature, and everyone looks up to him, and he loses a leg, right? And so people really question now, is he ever gonna win one? Because we're going to Sun and Moon, and Sun and Moon, it's like, doesn't have a league, right? So we're honestly questioning, wait a minute, so we're not going to see Ash compete or participate in another league and potentially, you know, maybe even potentially get the title of that Pokemon League champion. You know, we're not going to see that in another 4, 5, 6 years. You imagine that? Where are you going to be in 6 years, huh? Like, think about that. 6 years, maybe you'll have your kids by then, you know? Maybe you're a teenager or 20s and you're like, oh, in 6 years I'm gonna be having a family. I'm gonna be out of college, you know? Like, what? These kind of questions, and it's kind of concerning me, you know? Is he ever gonna win one? You know, should Alola have one? In sake of Ash winning a Pokemon League and we wanting to see him win one sooner, I would say yeah. But obviously that's probably not gonna happen if they don't have a league. But Ash is probably going to win whatever that there is in Alola, right? We're going to become the island trial champion or whatnot, you know? So, hopefully that can at least happen in the Alola region. But still not a Pokemon League. So that's kind of something is like, will he ever win one? Because this time everyone was darn sure he was. So are they going to do it again and troll us again? Or is he actually going to eventually win it? Because Pokemon 20th anniversary passed. Are they waiting for the 25th anniversary? Maybe. But that's some question we gotta ask ourselves. Alright, it took a little too long with that question there, and how we will answer, but make sure you guys post in the comment section below all your thoughts and feelings about that one. But let's move on to the next question. And the next one has to do with Serena. Now these are all the questions having to do with Serena. I'm gonna try to put them in like one little section here, one little interval. But first question is, big question remaining after XYZ, is what's gonna happen with Serena? Where's she gonna go? What is she gonna do? And more shipping, Pokemon performancing, everything, right? What's gonna happen with Serena? Will she eventually go to Alola? Maybe. Right now, it's pretty much confirmed that she's not gonna go with him right away. A lot of people are holding on to hope that she's gonna show up later on down the road, and then that she's gonna show up maybe in a cameo, or maybe for the rest of the series, halfway through the series. And a lot of people have also been looking at this preview and being like, why is Clement and Bonnie so shocked about Serena's answer for where she's going? Does that mean she's not staying in Kalos and that's why she's at the airport because she's ready to go somewhere else? Maybe she's not going to the airport. Maybe she's not going to go to Yashio. Maybe she's going to go train by herself. And that kind of leads me to the next question is like, what is she going to do with Yashio, Palomero? What is Yashio / Palomero, whatever you want to pronounce her name as, like, what's she gonna learn from her exactly? I mean, Serena wants to make people smile, and I've been saying, if she wants to make real people smile, she better stay with Ash, you know what I'm saying? Like, screw her making, you know, the anime people smile. No. If she wants to make real people smile, she has to stay with Ash. But that's just kind of on the side there. I just wanted to say, but still, like, what did she have to learn? I mean, she did a better performance than Aria, and just people just, I guess Aria just has like more of like the brand name, you know what I'm saying? She's just more popular, so people voted for her, and so that they smile when they see Aria or Ariana, whatever. I keep hearing all these different names, but I think it's Aria. Daggone it, I hate all these names. Anyway, so will Serena eventually be Kalos Queen? That's another big question. Probably, eventually, maybe when she shows up in her cameo later down the road, she tells Ash that she's accomplished it. But if she does accomplish it, maybe the fact that she didn't accomplish it makes her more likely to come back later. But maybe if she does accomplish it, that makes her come back, and so we could see her accomplish it in a, you know, in the future, or maybe she just shows him the cameo in Alola somewhere, right? And so this also goes down to, finally, her last kind of question that we're kind of still thinking about is Amore shipping. What's going to happen with Amore shipping? And I made a whole video about it. You know, I made a lot of videos about Amore shipping so far. Amore shipping is such a hot topic regarding the Pokemon anime as it is right now. And what's going to happen with Amore shipping? Is it going to become canon? I think, to be honest, most Amore shippers, they just want to see, like, some kind of time skip. Just to see a confession, just to see it kind of end. Yes, to end it. Because to be honest, most of the Amore shippers just don't want to worry about it anymore. Like, we're just like, okay, just officially confirm it somehow, you know, just, like, time skip would perfectly solve this issue. And just, like, we'll see them, okay, a little snippet of them being married or something. You know, boom, done, fantastic, don't show Serena anymore. We came to the series, a lot of people came to the series loving this anime, this specific one, XYZ, because of Serena and the Amore shipping curiosity, right? So just satisfy it and move on. Like, we don't really need to have all these elaborate, like, fan fictions come to life where we just see all these episodes of them continuing their journey together and doing all these romantic things with each other and, you know, eventually having kids and doing all this. No, we don't. No. Most Amore shippers just don't want to worry about it anymore. They're just like, this is something that happened. We just want to see happen. Okay, now you can move on from it. Okay, they just want to see, like, a proper ending to it. So you guys can post in the comment section below what you think about that. But we're going to move on to Greninja now. But post all your questions, thoughts, feelings about Amore shipping and about Serena in the comment section below, because she is a very beloved character. Alright, time for Ash Greninja. The next question is about what will happen to Ash Greninja. What's going to happen to him? You know, why are they throwing him away, right? So as we know, Ash is releasing Greninja to Kalos to be Kalos's savior, to be its guardian, right? Because with this battle against Zero-Risk, where Ash Greninja is supposed to really shine, Ash realizes that Kalos is still in threat, right? So Greninja has to stay here to permanently save Kalos from any uprisings in the future, from any kind of crises in the future. Ash Greninja remains behind in the Bond Phenomenon form, Ash Greninja, and to basically be the guardian of Kalos. Thing is, why is he giving up his most powerful Pokemon he's ever had? Because according to, like, prophecy, this only happens once in every 1,000 years. It's supposed to be his power is unlimited. Even the mysterious of Ash Greninja is not even, his full comprehension of his power is not even fully realized. So does this mean Ash Greninja is going to come back later, even more powerful? Because they're saying there's no limit to his power. And right now, he might have mastered his form, but there's still no limit. Like, they mastered their bond, per se, but their power is limitless. And they just weren't using the right critique of power, in a sense. Greninja still has to find the certain ways to grow more powerful, I suppose. And I guess that's what he's going to find out when he become, you know, through his adventures of being the guardian of Kalos. So I guess he's just going to roam free, I suppose. And, to be honest, Ash Greninja could easily become another mascot in the Pokemon entirely. From Game Freak to Nintendo, like, he could, with Pikachu. Because if you think about it, a lot of people think about Pikachu, right? And so people usually think about the old gen, the first gen, right? And that's what the majority of people out there know, right? But no one really focuses on the newer gens. But if you throw Ash Greninja in there and kind of make him like a secondary mascot, because right now he's marketed like crazy. In Japan, they ranked him #1 in the polls, right? He's like the #1 Pokemon in Japan. So if they market Ash Greninja more, then people would realize that there's these other Pokemon out there, and people would look into Greninja and look into that kind of series, look into these Pokemon, and realize like, oh hey, this is cool, and they'll start like looking into this more, and it's a marketing thing. Like honestly, I think the Ash Greninja should become like a secondary thing. I think Ash Greninja should honestly be trying to go to Alola. Like I think that's honestly the best thing a Pokemon should do. I think from a marketing standpoint, for my eyes, that's perfect. Again, I just also really want to see Greninja back. Because Ash Greninja, this entire time, you know, Ash swept through the freaking league with him. He has his most powerful Pokemon, and like Ash Alon, no one was a challenge for Ash up until Shota. Like Shota was like the first like real challenge, and then Alon, right, where he lost unfortunately, but he should have won. But no one was a match for Alon and Ash during the entire league. So where is Ash gonna go in regards to Pokemon leagues? Well, he should technically be sweeping the rest of them, especially if he brings Ash Greninja back, right? But as we saw in the previews and the little snippets, Hawlucha was even destroyed that Mega Absol, still standing on his 2 feet, not even looking wounded, right? And then like all this other stuff, Pikachu wiping out 2 Pseudos. Pikachu should never lose to any weak Pokemon ever again if he wipes out 2 Pseudos like that, and stands up enough to face on a Charizard and do some damage and land some hits. Like, okay, Pikachu should never be shown in bad light ever again. But anyway, this moves on to my next question with Alon, is and this is a big question resulting at the end of the series, is Ash ever going to battle Alon again? Because this is like the first rival, Ash's greatest rival, he's never beaten once. He's never defeated him. So if this is Ash's greatest rival, which is what the writers say, you know, this is Ash's greatest rival. So, and he's never won to him, so I guess he is. I suppose, but I guess you could also say that people are only rivals if they, you know, lose one, then win one, then lose one, then win one. But if Ash keeps losing to Alon, they're not really rivals. You know what I'm saying? You can't call that a rivalry. But in a way, Ash never lost every single time to a rival, and we're just kind of dismissing Alon and never having Ash beat him. Like, I think Alon needs to come back, because according to kind of Pokemon history, it's kind of been that way. Ash eventually wins. And Shota was more of the rival that they were focusing on, but they were describing Alon as the greatest rival, as Alon being the ultimate challenge, not Shota, in a way. Shota was just kind of mere in the way, right? So this, honestly, is Alon going to show up? I mean, Alon and Ash even said to each other in this previous episode, the past one, with the whole lab and Clemont rebuilding Clembot and that, they even said that, hey, let's battle once again. And Alon was like, oh yeah, let's do it. And like, that's it. Then they moved on. So hopefully we do see them again. And at the end of that episode, Alon did not have his Mega Ring anymore for some reason. What happened to it? I don't know. But again, will Ash Greninja come back to face Alon? You know, there's kind of some questions we gotta ask ourselves. You can post in the comment section below what you think about that. But anyway, let's move on to the next question. This one quickly regards Team Rocket. What are they gonna do? Where are they gonna go? Well, probably they're gonna go chase Ash in the Alola region, which is already confirmed by the posters that they're going to be there. So obviously they're gonna still be after Pikachu. They're not gonna go anywhere. So, but they were talking to Giovanni in the last episode. Looks like they are gonna move on. You know, he was kind of congratulating them over the Kalos Crisis thing and their participation in stopping it. It'd be cool to see Team Rocket show up in the mix of things, like unlike we didn't see in the Team Plasma, right? That those episodes were banned, or they just weren't aired, I should say. So I would actually like to see Giovanni and the rest of Team Rocket, like come and see some kind of thing going on with them. Again, I would also like to see Jesse and James kind of realize that maybe this criminal thing isn't for them, and that they actually do better when they actually be the good guys, and they should move on to doing that kind of stuff. And like they're really good at cooking and they're really good salespeople. They should honestly realize like what they could be successful at, you know what I'm saying, and move on. I think that's honestly what happened to Team Rocket. But you guys can post in the comment section below what your thoughts about Team Rocket. What questions about them do you guys have? Post them in the comment section below. Alright, so next question is about Delia So it looks like Delia is going to become more of an important character in the Sun and Moon anime, as we've seen by the previews. How is she going to handle Ash's loss after Ash promised her that he would win this time? He dead on promised. He's like, I will win this time. Like, I promise. And like, he didn't win. I'm like, how are you going to break that to your mom, boy? So you can't lie to your mom. So anyway, how is she going to deal with this? Well, it looks like they're pretty happy going to the Alola region. She's like, I'm sending you to boarding school. I'm sending you to school, kid. But anywho, so Delia, this also kind of revolves around the Ash's dad. When is he gonna show up? I mean, the writers said that he would only show up if there's like some huge like maturing moment for Ash, and that they would throw him in there. But until they think of a reason for that, they're not gonna throw his dad in the mix. So we may never see his dad. But the biggest question of all, ladies and gentlemen, in all of this is, of all these questions, the biggest question we have to ask ourselves is why Scraggy Girl has not been shown again. Like, why is this character not the main character of the series? We don't know. And I've been saying over and over again, we love Scraggy Girl. We don't see her back. You know, it's Cal, right? Her name's really Cal, but Scraggy Girl, whatever you want to call her, she's the most loved character in the series. And I'm like, why did they just get rid of her after like an episode or two? You know what I'm saying? Like, she should be the new main character. She should be the new traveling companion of Ash, at least, you know? This is the most important character, guys. Okay, all jokes aside, this character was awesome. I love her. But anyway, I just had to throw that in there because it is a big question for me. But a couple other questions before we end this off is kind of minor ones. Is, will Pokemon like Goodra ever reappear? Because they're in the episode with Greninja, they're actually releasing Goodra back to the wetlands. So he's actually releasing 2 Pokemon, Ash Greninja and Goodra. Will Goodra ever appear? Because he's a pseudo-legendary, Ash's first ever fully evolved pseudo-legendary. He's a really powerful Pokemon. Like, and Goodra I don't think got enough love, to be honest, and I think he needs to come back. So what's gonna really happen with him? Are they gonna ever bring him back? Are they gonna bring back Charizard, Pidgeot, all these other powerful Pokemon? Are they? Well, this also kind of leads me on to the next thing, is that Ash is getting the Synergy Stone, which I think has been hinted at that it could also do Mega Evolution, right? So maybe Ash could actually potentially finally Mega Evolve a Charizard. But wait, he can't. He already has Ash Greninja. Why would he need to, right? Oh, that's the questions and answers and things you could post in the comment section below about that as well. And would Ash ever get replaced? Hopefully by Cal. I mean, she's just perfect replacement. Or Alon. I'd like to see more about Alon, to be honest. Maybe hopefully there's another series where like there's kind of, you know how they have the Mega Evolution specials, but we have to see a special where Ash Alon fights the whole Elite Four. That'd be pretty cool to see, to be honest. And finally, the final question, and kind of like the big one, is, are you guys going to continue watching this series? Are we going to continue watching it? Because as for myself, and I think I'm going to be, you know, connecting with a lot of you out there, there's a lot of people that came back to the series, you know, because of Ash's maturity, because of Serena, because of the possibility of Ash winning, and now all that's gone, right? So why should we watch Sun and Moon if everything's changing? What we loved is going and thrown away, right? Well, the thing is, I have to answer about this, is that we should at least check it out. I honestly say that you guys should at least check it out, because the writers are the same. If you like how it was written in XYZ, if you like the story, you should give Sun and Moon a shot, because it's the same writers, it's the same studio. The animation, yeah. The art, yeah, they're throwing things off. The story's gonna throw you off because it's not the same as XYZ. But if you like the way it was handled in XYZ, you should give Sun and Moon a chance. And that's what I gotta say about that. And I hear ya. I left Pokemon back like during the Hoenn region. Yeah, I kept up with the series, but you know, here and there. But I didn't really officially come back until X, Y, and Z. So I feel you guys. But post in the comment section below all your feelings and thoughts about this. I love you all. Can't wait to see you in the next episode. And peace off.